Baker, and I will be doing my ICAP presentation on baby boomers versus millennial generation. Do you know someone who loves to spend hours at work? Do you know someone who prefers to play the Xbox instead of going outside? The first group of people that probably fit this is called the baby boomers generation, and the second one that fits this is called the millennial generation. Each person sees the world differently and communicates differently. In this speech, I will share some differences about the baby boomers group and also about the millennial group and how they communicate. First, I will explain about the baby boomers group. I will tell you some major things that had happened and how they prefer to communicate. The U.S. Census Bureau defines that baby boomers as a person born in the years followed by World War II, when there was a temporary marked increase in baby rate. The baby boomers went through the Cuban Missile Crisis, the assassination of JFK, and also Robert Kennedy Jr. And they also went through the assassination of Martin Luther King Jr., the first step on the moon, Vietnam War, Civil Rights Movement, and the uprising of technology. They have seen and experienced so much in their lifetime. One feature of the baby boomers is that they thought they were called the special generation. According to Eddie Kaufman, the baby boomers saw both a time of great need and great prosperity. Many of people witnessed the tail end of the Great Depression, as well as the end of World War II. Like Kaufman stated, going through the Great Depression, the baby boomers did not have many things, and they did not waste things, such as food, clothing. They did not spend a lot of money, because the baby boomers learned to appreciate everything that they had. Unlike today, people take so many things for granted. Baby boomers learned to save and reuse. Growing as a baby boomer, there was no hired help for lawn care, child care, and etc. Baby boomers had to do all of their own work, and the mothers were expected to raise the children and cook meals, and their jobs was at home. Today education is very important, and babies boomers rarely finish school. Baby boomers used face-to-face communication and telephones, stated the NP 2010. According to Eddie Kaufman, baby boomers only had phones that they could call on because the technology hadn't upgraded at that time. Telephones came later in the baby boomers generation. The NEP stated that the biggest communication that they used was called face-to-face communication. Second, I will explain about the millennium group. I will tell you about some of the major things that happened and how they communicated. According to the mystery of the millennial, people that had to grow up in the millennial had to endure things such as 9/11, cyberbullying, and anti-gun control issues. Now these days, it's not unheard for people to spend most of their days to go to a restaurant for supper, but not the baby boomers. They ate supper at home every night. The millennial ideals of work, or the values of work, is less important than they were before. Kids these days do not understand the work ethics such as hard work. As stated in the HEP 2010, stated the millennial generation used texting, cell phones, and emails to communicate. It is not uncommon to get on your communicator or Skype or FaceTime one of your friends or family members. In conclusion, after doing this speech, I have realized and expressed the differences between baby boomers and the millennial generation and how they communicated, such as baby boomers communicated mostly with face-to-face communication versus the millennial generation prefers emails and cell phones. There was vast differences between the two groups. Also, some major events that occurred during their lifetime have shaped their perception of the generation. And thank you, and my name is Alicia Baker again.